Hello and welcome to the first edition of Thursday Night Springfield. It's a variety show with a sports backbone. Get ready for the fastest 30 minutes in sports. I'm your host, Shane Baran. My favorite thing about Springfield College is how people with all kinds of backgrounds and interests can thrive here. Tonight, we'll be putting that on display with a new twist, highlighting the personalities and the fun environment of campus. One person who adds to the excitement on Alden Street is head football coach Mike Sarasulo. The 2024 AP Division III National Coach of the Year led the Pride to its most wins in program history this past season and is joined by our expert walk and talker, Sam Macgilpin, with today's Field Pass.
"100 yards with Springfield College football head coach Mike Sarasulo." Coach, what got you into coaching?
It started, obviously, when I was young. My dad was a sports writer for over 40 years, and I was very fortunate to go with him to a lot of different events, games, practices, what have you, and just love sports at that capacity at that moment. And then I had a lot of influential coaches in my life through my career, so I've been very fortunate, my high school days, my college, and obviously some different stops along the way coaching that have been extremely impactful in my life. So I knew what I wanted to do at a young age, in high school, and then had the opportunity to come to Springfield and play for Coach DeLong, and that really kind of guided the path.
What was your favorite part of this last season?
It was all pretty special. There was a lot of great moments along the way, and the memories that these guys created for themselves, for the program, and for the entire community of Springfield College football was unbelievable. I don't know if I could put my finger on any one moment.
Do you have a certain moment, play? No?
Again, there was so many of them, it's hard to put a finger on, but there was a lot of big wins along the way, and just how together and connected this team was. I think that's what I'll remember most about this past year.
Why are you guys so big on the triple option?
Again, it's something that we've established. It's an identity. It's who we are. I think it creates a mindset both offensively, defensively, and core-wise for the entire team. And I think it just, throughout the team, it's the toughness aspect of it as far as being able to run the football and defend the run. And I think you get that by being able to run this style of offense.
What's your favorite part about this campus?
Again, from a football standpoint, it's our kids. Our kids are unbelievable. And like I said at the beginning, they're the moments and memories that we created this past year. And any opportunity you get to be around these kids is pretty special.
What do you like the most about the practices that you run?
I think the intensity level that the kids provide. We always talk about time, energy, and effort that they put in to it, and they put so much into this, and extremely grateful to have players that care about the game and care about each other.
What is one thing that people might not know about you?
Pretty open-ended book, so I'm not really sure about that one.
And then, loudest player on the team?
Loudest? Oh, man, there's a lot of them. You're going to meet one in a little bit here with JT. So he's probably one of the louder ones. Defensively, offensively, you probably get another one coming over here today, Freezer. So
funniest player on the team? Again,
I'm both an offensive and defensive guy. I take that back. Loudest player on the team is definitely Stanford.
Okay.
But funniest guys, you got Freezer, you got James Green offensively, you got Nicky P defensively. He's a classic. Nicky G's another one, a couple good ones there.
First in line in the team dinner?
Mackay.
Mackay? Yeah, that go figure. And then, do you take after anyone's coaching philosophy?
I think, again, I've been very fortunate to be around a lot of great coaches, but the guys that were my biggest mentors growing up were Frank Kronoff, my high school coach, Coach DeLong, Jim Anderson, Rich Manello, Coach McKinney. Jack Cosgrove was another guy that meant a lot to my career as well.
100 yards with Coach Sarasulo. Coach, after talking to you, I really think I got what it takes to be on this team. Do you think I got what it takes?
Oh, of course, man. We'll give you a tryout right now.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Springfield. I'm here with the Springfield College football team. Let's see if I got what it takes. Coach, got it.
Well, we'll put you through it right now. We got our All-American left tackle right here,
Craig Connell. He's going to coach you up a little bit on some of his techniques as well. We always start with our stance, though. You got to have a presence, and it's a mindset. So as we're looking straight ahead at the camera, we always have a line that we approach to, and we always say, come up to a line with the mindset. It starts right there. Our toes, okay, are parallel to the line of scrimmage, or perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, or parallel to each other. We want our feet inside the framework of our body. All right, you think you got massive shoulders there. You think you are Michael Orr right now. Get those feet tighter. If you're too tight, you're almost there. All right, because we're a little bit unique with our stances right now. All right, then we bend. We want to create Z's. And those ankles, knees, and hips right there. So we're creating those power angles. You spent this entire on-season working out, getting bigger, faster, and stronger. So let's get it down. Get those things nice and tight. Z's, create those power. You think about your eyeball falling out of your head right now. Go down and scoop it up with your right hand right now. All right, because you're a left tackle, we put our inside hand down. You got to think about, I got to pick that eyeball up right now. We want it slightly inside that instep of our foot, okay? So that we can get some balance right there. We want a nice flat back when we're in our stance. Okay. Yeah, that feels good right there, right? So that we're starting to create everything inside the framework of our body. If I were to see you from behind, I can't see your elbows right now. That means everything's staying tight inside the framework of your body. So on the set hit, cock the hands to the short rib, set hit, pick it up, put it down, right there, excellent, okay? Our second step is when we deliver a punch, all right? We want violence with our punch. We want to have purpose behind that punch. So we're gonna pick it up, and all we do is replace heel to toe, set, hit, hit, and then when we punch, we W our hands, all right? We've got tight wrists, tight elbows, and we punch to a defender's short ribs, staying in those power angles as well. Keeping a nice flat back, keeping your numbers pressed to your knees. Set, hit, hit. Oh, not bad, right? Oh, he is ready to take on you two any minute right now. Let's go one more time. Here we go. Set, hit, hit. 1, 2, good. Now let's get a bag in here. All right, so we always go on air, then we go to bags, then we're gonna go on bodies soon. All right? So Craig will be right here, just a base block right there. All right, and this is the short ribs of the defender. You wanna keep that hairline under the defender's chin. You wanna hit with your hands, all right? You screws your helmet through his sternum, okay, and then we're running our feet. All right, 2 hits. Here we go. Set, hit, hit, punch right there. Look at that. Come up, put him down. Tighten that base down a little bit. Short, powerful strides. Here we go. Set, hit, hit, punch right there. Excellent job keeping that head up. Nice work. Good work right there. Pass blocking now. Our first movement now is based on how wide that defender is. We're always trying to keep our midline on his inside hip so that we take away that inside rush. All right, so we're just gonna work right now. Pick it up, put it down, and now again, we W our hands, so that same position right there, just picking our foot up, replacing now our toe to heel, all right, so that we keep our midline to his inside hip. We wanna keep our shoulders square as long as we possibly can. He'll be an outside rush right now. Set, hit. There we go, right there, good. And when we time the punch, when we talk about punching a defender, we don't punch until we get into handshake position. So as he comes, if he's too far away and I'm lunging to shake his hand, all right, he can grab my shoulder and throw me down. If I'm too tight, now he can leverage me and use a bull rush. So we want to get to that handshake position. So when we punch right here, we're handshake right now, okay? All right, let's give it a whirl.
Keep the posture up, keep your back straight.
Ears and shoulders back on that punch. Set, hit. Right there, punch, good, good. Set, hit, good. Ears and shoulders back on that punch, good. There you go at the end. Nice strain right there, excellent, excellent. You ready for him?
I think I'm ready, yeah, I think I'm ready.
Oh!
Alright, that wasn't great.
We'll correct it right here. What did he do?
You got a tiebreaker on the gate.
Yeah, he overset. So if he comes back inside right here, all right, because I overset, my midline didn't stay on his inside hip. I got to think about pounding that inside foot down into the ground, okay? So I power step back inside, all right? Coach Tank will tell you, all right, you want your head outside as your hand and foot are inside, all right? Okay, don't let that inside rush. Make him run the long way.
All right, JT, what you got, boy? Let's go, Casey.
Hey, he just boyed you. He just boyed you. Ready, set. Oh, I did it again. Inside, if I overset, what's that giving him? A two-way go. Right? So then I'm in that negative position, power it down. All right, here we go.
You know how it is. Let's get it.
Ready, set. Oh! You're there. That's a win. We're throwing quick game.
All right, Coach, how do you think I did?
You're on the team. Congratulations. You're part of the brotherhood right there.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry. I got more. Thursday Night Springfield. I'm Sam Macgilpin. This is the football team. We'll see you soon.
I don't know anything different. I had a very successful career. Life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I start my day with a workout. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Springfield and to our first ever game show, Outsmarted, where sports journalism majors will be competing against their peers on Alden Street. The rules are as follows. Teams of two will have 10 seconds to answer each question presented to them. There are 3 categories consisting of 4 questions each, and those categories are sports, entertainment, and culture. The questions in each respective category get gradually harder, allowing teams to gain more points at the end. First, from COSJ, we have Nick and Emily. From Alden Street, we have Mike and Zach. Let the game begin. For 5 points, what is the exact name of the event that takes place in Blake Arena, gathering some of the best high school basketball teams in the country?
Spalding Hoopball Classic.
Nick and Emily, for 5 points, what is the full name of the man that Springfield College named their football field after?
Amos Alonzo Stagg.
Correct. Mike and Zach, for 10 points, what team was the first NFL franchise to finish the regular season 0-16?
The Detroit Lions.
Correct. Nick and Emily, for 10 points, the Trailblazers had the longest streak of consecutive sold-out home games within the Big Four American sports leagues until what East Coast MLB team surpassed them in 2013?
The Boston Red Sox.
Correct. For 15 points, Michael Jordan played his college basketball days at UNC, but what college did he originally want to play at, despite the college never recruiting him? Three, two, one.
Duke.
Incorrect. The answer is UCLA. Nick and Emily, for 15 points. The National Sports Act of Canada granted 2 different sports as the official sports of Canada. One is obviously hockey, but what's the other? Three, two, correct. Tyler and Mike, for 20 points, the final question of our first round. Who was the first golfer to reach $1 million in career earnings?
Tiger Woods.
That is also incorrect. The answer we were looking for is Arnold Palmer. He is not just a guy with a drink named after him. Nick and Emily, your last sports question. For 20 points, besides Stephen Curry, who is another active player to have more than 3 seasons crack the top 20 in single-season three-pointers made?
Damian Lillard.
Unfortunately, the answer is Buddy Hield, Stephen Curry's teammate. To keep the fastest 30 minutes in sports, the culture round was completed off camera with Team COSJ still holding a strong lead as we enter the third round. Zach and Mike, for 5 points, what rapper made the hit song Trap Queen?
You got the answer. I don't know. Who? Is it Fetty Wap? Right? Just say it. I think it's right. Freddie? No.
Fetty Wap.
It is Fetty Wap. All right. That was a close one there. I thought that would be the easiest one of the day. Emily and Nick, for 5 points, what city is the Met Gala held each year?
New York City.
Correct, New York City. Zach and Mike, for 10 points, the Mona Lisa was painted by which famous artist?
I feel like I know. Is it Da Vinci? Is it? I don't know. Just, you got it.
3.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci is correct. Emily and Nick, for 10 points, in 2024, Taylor Swift was the most streamed artist. But what male singer was the second most streamed?
The Weeknd.
Wow, correct. Zach and Mike, for 15 points. With 420 just falling on Easter, everyone knows the date. But what year did California pass the law to make recreational cannabis legal?
How is this culture? 2020? I don't know.
2020.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. It was the best year ever in 2016. Emily and Nick, for 15 points. You get a question, you get a question, you get a question. Everybody knows that's Oprah's catchphrase. But how old is Oprah?
63.
That is incorrect. Oprah looks 63, but she's 71. Now, Zach and Mike, for your final question of the culture round. For 20 points, Ronaldo and Messi are the #1 and #2 most followed people on Instagram. What female celebrity is third?
It might be. I don't know. Just say it. Just say it.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
Unfortunately, it is not Taylor Swift. It is Selena Gomez. All right. Final question for you guys. For 20 points, what YouTube video is the most viewed of all time?
I don't know. Is it Charlie Bit My Finger?
That is so incorrect. The answer that we were looking for is Baby Shark. Our final topic is going to be Springfield College trivia. So we hope you studied and paid attention during Springfield seminar freshman year. The first question for Zach and Mike. What year did John Cena begin his Springfield College career? 20 seconds on the clock.
1995.
Correct. It is correct. Mike and Zach have taken the lead, currently sitting in first place with 90 points. The pressure is on you guys. Your question. Name one of the two former presidents that have spoken at Springfield College.
John F. Kennedy.
That is correct. And winners by 1 point. COSJ takes it home in the first ever matchup on Outsmarted. Congrats to Team COSJ for winning our first ever Outsmarted with an instant classic in a 1-point win. Stick around because we're not done yet, and we'll be right back after the break.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome to the most anticipated part of the show, TikTok. As three massive sports fans, Sam, Dante, and I often have spirited debates about every aspect in sports. But today, we're bringing it to the screen. Let's get into the rules. Each of us have prepared our best what-ifs in sports. What if this happened and impacted the sports world? That's what we'll be talking about. The three of us each have 60 seconds to make our claim, followed by a 3-minute debate. Afterwards, Professor Menard, Judge Jeremy, will decide a winner based on impact, uniqueness, and persuasion. So let's get into it.
So Shane and Sam, my what if is what if Len Bias never died? So in 1986, the Celtics just won a title. And then they get the number 2 pick and draft Len Bias, a 6'8" scoring machine, crazy athletic, and widely seen as the next Jordan talent. 2 days later, he's dead from a cocaine overdose. If that never happened, the Celtics dynasty doesn't die, and with Bird's back, along with McHale and Parrish, Bias could have taken the torch. Boston stays elite into the 90s, and we could have had MJ versus Bias battles every postseason. That changes everything. Now, maybe the Bulls don't win 6. Maybe the Celtics become the team of the 90s. And it's also bigger than hoops. His death sparked a nationwide crackdown on drugs in sports. He also changed how they were marketed, along with a moment that shook the entire league's culture. Len Bias was supposed to be the future of the NBA. And if he never died, the basketball timeline could be rewritten.
All right, Shane and Dante, what if Charles Woodson actually strip-sacked Tom Brady in those 2002 AFC playoffs? Charles Woodson went for a strip sack against Brady in the 2002 playoffs, but they called it a tuck rule, which would have sealed the deal for the Raiders. Instead, Adam Vinatieri got the game-winning field goal, and the Patriots won that game and ended up winning Super Bowl 36. If that doesn't happen, is Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Is Bill Belichick the greatest coach of all time? To be honest with you, Shane and Dante, my answer is no. I truly don't think that happens. Because it happened, Tom Brady wins 5 more Super Bowls with New England and then 1 more with Tampa. Bill Belichick wins a ton of more Super Bowls with Brady. He eventually retires and go off to UNC. But I just think it was crazy. In 2004, I was a Super Bowl baby myself because of the New England Patriots, as a New England Patriots family, right? If the 2002 strip sack actually happens, I might not even be born. These are the type of stuff that I was thinking about when I was doing my what if, right? And I truly think that if Charles Woodson actually strip sacked him, none of this would have ever actually happened.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. The tuck rule was a little exploitation by Belichick. But speaking of Belichick, I got something. My what if, Sam and Dante, is what if the Cleveland Browns never became the Baltimore Ravens? So, I don't know if you guys know this, but in 1995, the Cleveland Browns announced that they were going to be moving to Baltimore and starting over there. Same team, no expansion draft, same roster. Now, who was the head coach of that football team for the Cleveland Browns? Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick was only let go because when they announced the team would be moving, They struggled that season, lost all morale. You know how things go. But prior to that, Belichick had took them to the divisional round. This team was geared for success, and then we saw that 5 years later when that same Browns team, which was now the Baltimore Ravens, went on to win a Super Bowl. If the Baltimore Ravens do not become a team, then Belichick doesn't go to the Pats, dynasty doesn't happen, and then the Browns might be the best dynasty in history. We'll never know, though. And now that we've all made our case, now it's time to debate. Since I went last before, I'm starting things off. I don't think that either of your guys' points makes as big of a difference as mine. Mine is legacy changing, dynasty changing. One Super Bowl versus possibly an entire dynasty happening at all. I can't see how one Super Bowl could make a difference there.
Interesting that you say that it doesn't change legacy or dynasty when mine is exactly that. It talks about MJ maybe not winning 6, maybe the Celtics being the team of the dynasty, or it could have been the Pistons, you never know, but this whole point is about Len Bias possibly being the next Jordan and doing exactly what he did in his legacy.
I think it's funny that you talk about Len Bias, rest in peace, obviously, to Len Bias, and did a lot for, the stuff with drugs and in the NBA. But we'll talk about the Celtics. Like, the Celtics, they literally won a championship last year. They won one in 2008. This isn't like, Shane with the Browns. Like, the Browns, they haven't won anything in a long, long time. You know what I mean? Like, Len Bias, yeah, that was tragic. But, man, I mean, the Celtics have done pretty well for themselves, in recent years. This isn't like a 50-year what if.
And they've had success, exactly what you're saying. Granted, yes, we could have seen Len Bias blossom into possibly the best player ever or anything like that. But that can be said for anybody that's ever played in the league, or Marvin Bagley, somebody who's been drafted high and hasn't lived up to expectations.
Good
but
pull.
We know that in the NBA, some players don't develop, regardless of the tools that they have. So to say that one guy who's drafted 2nd overall is going to change the whole history of a franchise, I don't think so.
You just ruined your whole point then. You're saying if a team never moved and a coach was never their coach, then it would all change. But you just said if something happened with a player or one person in a franchise and a team, nothing would change. So your whole what if just got ruined.
Where are the Spurs without Greg Popovich? Where are the Warriors without Steve Kerr? Where are the Patriots without Bill Belichick?
Yeah, I think you're right there, but I'd also say, who knows that Bill Belichick, the Patriots were an up and coming organization around that time, got a new stadium and everything like around that time. I think it was a little bit after, but Belichick still we don't know if he's even that good of a coach. You said they made it to the divisional round. Like, okay. Who cares? A lot of teams make it to the divisional round. This isn't like, that's like a participation trophy almost. That's nothing. Let's be real.
I don't know. I'm just but we just discussed both of our points, but now we got to go to you, Sam. We haven't really talked about you much. You're saying that if a fumble was flipped the other way, the entire rest of history doesn't happen. Maybe Tom Brady doesn't win those 5 rings again. Now, while I do think your case and your point is possibly true, I don't think you could say that for the next 5 years, Tom Brady doesn't win. We saw that he can win at any given moment, at any given time. I think, yes, he might not have that one, but to say that maybe he doesn't win the next 5, it's a little far-fetched.
Well, we're going to have to see what Judge Jeremy thinks about it in our Judge Jeremy decision time.
All right. Well, first off, really good job. The 3 of you made really good what-if statements, and I thought you did a really good job debating. Each of you made a really good counterpoint during the debate segment. I thought with the impact, to me, the one that stood out, really, really close, but I thought that Dante made a really good point about Len Bias. In my opinion, I've always kind of thought that. What if Len Bias played for the Celtics? And I thought you did a really good job, Dante, drawing to, well, what if the Celtics became the team of the 90s, and what if MJ and the Bulls didn't have all the success that they did? I also thought, though, the tuck rule, very intriguing. I thought the idea with the Cleveland Browns, same. So 3 really good, closely on impact, but I gave a little bit to Dante and Len Bias. When it came to the debate side, I thought all 3 were really, really good, and I gave a little bit of a nudge to Sam, who made some really good points. I will also note, in this, Sam did get a few extra points because we're really thankful that he is here and that he was born. So you did get a couple extra points there. But for the final rankings, I'll start with 3rd first. Shane finished 3rd in the debate segment here. Sam, you came in 2nd, so that means Dante by a close one, really, really close, came out victorious. Well done.
That's all we have for tonight's episode. We'll be back with more next semester. From Sam, Dante, and I, thanks for watching Thursday Night Springfield, and we hope you enjoyed the fastest 30 minutes in sports.